Celebrations have begun around the world to welcome in 2017. This was the scene in Sydney earlier, where officials say the city's biggest ever fireworks display took place. Around 1.5 million people have been celebrating by the Opera House. And in Hong Kong, an hour ago, a similarly elaborate display as the skyline along the waterfront lit up with thousands of explosions. And the rendition of Auld Lang Syne rang out along the coastline. Now, aside from the celebration, security has been stepped up in major cities as the world marks the start of the new year. Concrete barriers are blocking off central squares in Paris, Madrid and New York to prevent attacks like the recent ones in Berlin and Nice. In cities including London, thousands of extra police are being deployed ahead of New Year celebrations. Helena Lee reports.
Closing off parts of London ahead of tonight's celebrations. The barriers, just one element of tonight's security operation in the capital. The Met Police says it's not had any specific intelligence to point to an attack in London, but they've looked to Berlin and Nice and what happened there and adjusted their plans.
We spent a long time carefully planning this operation with our partners. They include the Mayor's Office, Westminster City Council and many others, to make sure people can come into central London on New Year's Eve and have a fantastic time. And when they come, to give us extra time, because there will be a search regime in place. There's something like 3,000 police officers on duty in central London alone, and there will be stewards as well.
There'll also be more armed officers on patrol around London than in previous years. More areas too where vehicles are banned. Greater Manchester Police and other forces say they've also stepped up crowd protection measures after the Berlin attack. In other cities too across Europe and the world, security has been stepped up. This is New York. Those celebrating there will see a very visible police presence. In Berlin, it's a similar picture. Concrete barriers to stop another potential truck attack. In her New Year's Eve address, the German Chancellor Angela Merkel promised to do everything possible to improve security.
Die schwerste Prüfung ist ohne Zweifel der islamistische Terrorismus.
The biggest test, without a doubt, is Islamist terrorism, which has had Germany in its sights for many years. In 2016, it attacked us in Würzburg, in Ansbach, and just a few days ago at the Christmas market here in Berlin.
Back in London, around 100,000 tickets have been sold for this evening's fireworks display. The police say they hope those out tonight will be reassured by the range of security tactics they'll be using. Helena Lee, BBC News.
Well, Andrew Black is in Edinburgh as the preparations for Hogmanay continue. And just give us a sense, Andrew, of how things are building up to New Year's Eve there.
Well, if you just look at down Princess Street behind me here, it's still a fairly normal scene. The last of today's shoppers are heading home, the shops are closing, but in just a couple of hours' time, the big security gates at either end of Princess Street here will swing shut, and thereafter will begin one of the world's biggest and best known Hogmanay street parties. This event is a sellout tonight, so that means that some 75,000 people from an estimated 80 countries around the world will be seeing in New Year down Princess Street itself, and the images of tonight's partying are going to be beamed back around the world to something like 1 billion people. Now, tonight's not all about standing out on the street drinking beer. There's plenty of stuff going on. There's 4 big sound stages, there's DJs playing, there's live music. The Charlatans and Paolo Nutini are a part of tonight's lineup, but I guess the serious side to all this is that big public events like this need to be policed properly. Public safety is really a #1 priority, especially given recent events like the Berlin terror attack. Police Scotland have said so far tonight that there has been a proportionate response so far, that they're going to monitor the situation just like New Year's celebrations in all other parts of the UK. But of course the hope is that it won't come to that and that everyone will be having a pretty good time. Now, official events kick off here at about 9 o'clock tonight with a big fireworks display, the first of several fireworks displays. That's all going to build up to a massive massive crescendo with a huge fireworks display being launched from Edinburgh Castle, from the battlements at midnight. Some 5.5 tons of pyrotechnics are going to be launched into the sky, and that's going to be accompanied by a huge laser show as well. Now, as you can probably tell, it is raining because it is Scotland in December, but we are assured that the weather is going to be clearing up later on. So I think all in all, we're looking at a pretty spectacular evening.
Fantastic. Fingers crossed for that rain stopping, Andrew. Thank you very much, Andrew Black in Edinburgh. The Russian President Vladimir Putin has given his New Year message, looking back at 2016.
It wasn't easy, but the difficulties that we've faced have unified us. They've motivated us to discover huge reserves of our capacities to move forward. The main thing is that we believe in ourselves, in our strength, in our country.
Well, Barack Obama has also given his New Year message, and he took the opportunity to talk about his legacy as US president.
We have made extraordinary progress as a country these past 8 years. And here's the thing. None of it was inevitable. It was the result of tough choices we made and the result of your hard work and resilience. And to keep America moving forward is a task that falls to all of us. Sustaining and building on all we've achieved, from helping more young people afford a higher education, to ending discrimination based on pre-existing conditions, to tightening rules on Wall Street, to protecting this planet for our kids. That's going to take all of us working together, because that's always been our story. The story of ordinary people coming together in the hard, slow, sometimes frustrating, but always vital work of self-government. It has been the privilege of my life to serve as your president. And as I prepare to take on the even more important role of citizen, know that I will be there with you every step of the way to ensure that this country forever strives to live up to the incredible promise of our founding, that all of us are created equal and all of us deserve every chance to live out our dreams. From the Obama family to yours, have a happy and blessed 2017.